Dear viewers and subscribers, welcome again to our YouTube channel Max the Service. Please subscribe and press the bell icon to receive all notifications regarding any video we are uploading on this channel. Okay guys, let's proceed with the last microservices component, okay, which is gateway. Before going forward, let me explain what we have covered in last session. In last session, we actually discussed auth service. This is authentication service just to log in and get the token. First, user will get registered. If registered successfully, then we can call login API to get the token, and then with that token, you were able to access the user service API. Okay. Very quickly, I have already running all those services, and I wanted to show you again very quickly. Then we will be moving forward, and what is the role of gateway and what is the purpose and utilization. I will explain you, but let me show you what we have done in our last session. So in last session, okay, here you can see that we have running number of services like our registry service. You know that we have to run first of registry service, then configuration service, because all configuration we do have in config service, then gateway, which is not implemented yet, and I'm deleting this. So again we have auth service, and auth service is running and working fine, and also we have user service where I have to show you the user service how it works. Okay, so here is our user service. Let me run this in debug mode so that I can show you step by step. Okay, once this user service runs successfully, then we will be able to register and log in. So in the database, let me show you, we already created one admin user account, and I will try with the same and see what happened. Okay, here you can see, if I select all data. In last session I have showed you that with the name of max service we have registered. Let me register again with the same data. What happened? Okay, so here is our register API. Again I am providing the same detail, and if I call the same API, okay guys, so let's see what happened. There might be, yeah, here you can see it is calling and replying by from the database, and I am just removing, just I put it these yes, internal server, let me call it again. So there is okay, so it is interrupted, and let me run it again, because there was internal server and we were not able to run this. So I'm running this service again in debug mode so that we can trace the changes as I have showed you. So guys, remember that we have uh, registry, our Eureka server, then configuration, authentication, and user service. We developed authentication only for getting token, first register and then getting token, and how to utilize that token we have not covered that. In this video we will be covering this information. So right now I am going to show you uh, our register authentication service to provide the token, but here you can see we have already breakpoint. So it is going to check with the user. If user already exists, it will provide the token. So here we have token. Whenever we will be calling this, it will providing us different token. Here you can see. Okay. Okay, now we will start working with authentication, because we can get any user API. As you can see that we have let me see what is the API of user service. And user service controller, uh, yeah, user controller, you can see we can call get all. And at what port this service is running, we are running this port as at 8084. If I call this service get all, then what parameter we have to provide? Just only, you can see v1 user and get all, and it will providing us all the user if we are admin. So let me try with this. Okay, let me utilize this one. If I call like we are running 8084, and the API name is get all, user v1 user get all, and there is nothing anymore input, and we don't have any authorization. And if I call this one forbidden. Okay, so this is forbidden because it need to be authenticated first. How this happen? Let me check. v1 user get all, v1 user get all, it's mean we need to check either this user is admin or not. Okay, and in the database let's see what this user is. So role as user, so that's why it is forbidden. So let me check with the any other. If there is, yes, username, get user by username. If I try with this, and username is let me copy here username, and here is username. Now it should, great. So here is your data. Now I want to secure this user get user by username, because this is not secured right now. How we can secure? There we, like I put an example in early that there is a society and we have a gatekeeper, and whenever we enter that society, or even you are enter in the office, there must be authentication, that you have must a valid card, you must have a visiting card, so that you are allowed to enter the society or in office anywhere where is gateway. So I want there some service to authenticate it first. Okay, there must be any service, and because right now we are moving like this: login, register, and then now we can call directory user service, which is get user. Here you can see that we have called this service directly without intervention of the gateway, and the service name was get user web. Now I want to secure this service, user service, so that anyone, any request coming to this must be passed through API gateway. So now I will block this, or cross. There must, yeah. Now we want to cancel this. Okay, anyone coming through this must be validated before. Okay, So now I'm going to create another service for you to just save for time saving. I have created the project, okay, which is gateway. Here you can see gateway application. Right now here what basic things we want to create. One thing is our configuration, where we will be configuring our web intervention, where any web or HTTP head will be coming. Spring application must know how to interact with that. Then we will implementing filter, so that every request coming to any service must be filtered, either it is allowed or not. After filtering, let's suppose if we have allowed get user by username through this API gateway, then it will allow to call this server, otherwise it will stop. Okay, so this kind of configuration and filters is required. Then might be we need utility to just any functionality to like parsing, authentication, like getting the token, everything. So right now let me start with working with here I must create a file, okay, like utility file. First of all I am creating utility file, like here we must have a package like util, okay, util, and under util I will be creating one utility class. We can name is JWT util, okay, Java. Here this is a main class, and we can provide annotation as component, because Spring Boot application must know it's a component of this application. Okay, so here I will be providing component as an annotation. And now what I can do, this there must be a secret. Okay, a secret will help us. Component, yeah, for encoding and decoding we must use one secret. So here is like public static string string secret uh, okay, let me do copy and paste secret here. So guys, I just do the little bit research Google, and then I copy it. So you can copy anywhere from the Google. So now right now I need some functionality utility like validation of the token. So for that I will write public void validate token, and final string token, because we will be receiving a parameter as token. Okay, and then what is this, sorry, string, because string is a class and we have to provide class name. And now what we can do, JWTS. This one is utility of JW, Java Web Token. Here, okay, I will import it and just I will parse, okay, parse builder, and then we can use set sign key. Okay, and then we need to here our get sign key. First we need to get sign key, another utility like private key which is object get sign sign yeah sign key, and here we need to get invite array key bytes, and here we need to use decoders dot base 64 dot decode, and here will be our secret. Okay, actually in this scheme it will decode and encode and then validate. So return, what we need to return, keys dot hmacs for key bytes. Okay, yeah, here. So what is the error? Mismatch cannot convert from secret key to key. So what is the key? Actually HMAC SHA key for, and this is type of secret key, and we need to check this one. Okay, actually we need to change the type of this key. Not Google, yeah, this one, Java security, yeah. So we need type mismatch, and now we need here get this function, and now we need, after getting this decode in bytes, then we need to build it again. Okay, yeah, why it is not providing, yeah, sorry, dot build dot parse, yeah, this like token we will be having. Okay, this one. Now in this way we can validate this token. Okay, and then now we have utility for validate token, and now we need to create another uh, class like filter. Okay, because any request must be filter before going to filter. All filters we will be creating here, and here we can use it auth authentication filter dot java. Okay, so this must be a class, not interface. Yes, class, mark is as a class. So now we must implement a gateway filter, right? Let me provide it again as a component. Okay, and here, yes, and here I must implement gateway filter. Okay, so I must have a gateway filter. So all the functions of gateway filter we will be implementing. Okay. So this is the gateway filter provided by Spring. Okay, Spring Cloud. So I will just import it and let me implement all unimplemented method. Yeah. So first is filter. What is saying like this? What is the error? Okay. Yeah, go and gone. Now we need to override one function which is filter. Server web exchange. Any web exchange through this server, gateway server, it will be filtered through this chain. Okay. So now what we need to do, we also need one thing here, utility to be private final jw jwt util uh, come on, yeah, util util. So we need this. Why we need this? Let me show you. And we must be, first thing we can annotate with AutoWire. Or we can use by the value must be used. Okay, we will be using this its value. Okay, we can AutoWire, or just we can add it in constructor of the filter, so that at the time of initialization of this component, this instance must be initialized. Okay, so that's why it is saying that must be used. Okay, we will use it. So right now we need to implement this functionality. Here what I can see, first of all I need to get the request. Okay, or server http request exchange dot get. Actually compilation is not working. Spring http, and now exchange get request. It will get all the requests, whatever requests come through, it will get to here. Okay, so what type of request is it? Is interface. Okay, yes. Reactive, yes, this one we need actually. Okay, now we need parse these requests, and also another thing, we need all the list of our allowed URLs, like final uh, list. What kind of list of string? Okay, and API and points, we can name like this: list of we need to parse, like first is like we will be allowing v1 auth login, and another we will be allowing v1 auth register. Okay, and then we can allow like we are using Eureka. Okay, so all these requests we need to verify if there is containing the URL like this, because right now we have been using direct auth service, but now we want to utilize this gateway. Every request should be go through this gateway, then that even register login whatever API, so then we will be utilizing this. Okay, so now what should be the next step? What another thing we need to consider? Okay, let's check with this. Let me stream this like dot stream. Okay, dot non-match URI or dot get URI dot get path dot contains, if contains URI. Okay, so here we need to predicate of what? We need to predicate server HTTP request. Okay, here is API secured. We will check how we can check this API is secured or not. For that we just need to check if is API sorry secured if is API secured dot test. Okay, we have its function test. We will test any request above this one. Okay, how we can test? Like predicate function Java util function. Yeah, this one we can use predicate, and why it is saying like this: cannot connect boolean to predicate server HTTP request. Okay, or okay, now we are using lambda function streaming, then if not match then it will get URI, after get it will check if these contains path like this. Okay, after streaming and mapping using lambda function, we will check if anyone URI contains this, it will uh, get this in new object. And now we need to check either this request what we have from user, it it will check with this either this one is secure or not. If any request will not contain any URL like this, it will be not secured, and it will throw an exception like bad request or something like whatever we will configure. So now again, if auth missing what is this auth missing request return on error exchange. ओके अगर इनमें से कोई चीज़ मिसिंग है तो वो एरर थ्रो कर देगा. ओके इफ देयर इज एनीथिंग मिसिंग इट विल थ्रो एरर. Okay, so we need to go configure auth missing or on error. Okay, let me create this method on error and also auth missing. Okay, now I will implement all these both method. So what on error, it will be like what I should return if there is error. It will be server HTTP response server response. Okay, and here is response exchange dot get response. Okay, whatever response we will get, we will be getting here. What is this exchange? Yeah. Okay. Add cost to server HTTP response. Okay, and then we will be using response dot set status code HTTP status dot unauthorized. Okay guys, so then we will be return response dot set complete. Set complete. Yeah, so actually what kind of we need to okay, and now we have to also implement auth missing. What is this? Return it's a boolean. Okay, and it will return if not request dot get headers dot contains key. What key? It should check authorization. Actually guys, it will check there must be containing authorization as a key. From authorization it will get the token. How it will get the token? Let me move forward. Okay, now If request will not contain authorization as a key, it will return on error like unauthorized. Okay, and now if sorry, if it will contain authorized, then we will be moving forward with the next implementation. We will be getting token really sorry, request dot get headers dot get or empty what authorization, okay, dot get at 7. Okay, because what is 7? Bearer. We will be from authorization, we will be having bearer then token, so it will splitting with bearer. So after bearer we will be having token, and then another is if token not null and token dot get, oh sorry, start with bearer. Okay, it must be starting with bearer, right? And then we will be using token is equal to token dot substring with 7. So now it will get token and it will check like this, token not null, then like you can also paste like this. Okay, so if condition is true then it will run, or you must be using like this, because that is a bad coding style. Okay, so now here we need to implement like try catch. What try condition we can add here? Util dot validate token. If we got token, then we will be validating this token. Otherwise, we will be throwing exception. We can also implement custom inspection exception, but right now we are, because we can do it later on error. Okay. Okay guys, this is very simple and important implementation. Okay, and in the last I want to return chain dot filter and exchange. Okay, here you go. Okay, so it is saying so we must initialize public, and here jwt util jwt util this dot okay, cannot be resolved, not a field. Why? Why it is saying like this? Guys, because this is already a component and we don't need to initialize it. Okay, here it is saying like this, which is not possible. It should not do like this. So let me investigate a little bit. Mm, Final yes. Sorry, I must declare it first. Private final JWT util and JW util. Okay. Okay. Now let me explain a bit more. Whenever this component will be initialized in Spring context, okay, sorry. When it will start initializing in Spring context, it will first initialize this JW utility, and because we are implementing gateway filter, and gateway filter have filter method, we must implement it according to our requirement. Here we have few URLs, and these URLs now must be validated through this. So right now we will not be allowing this to going through this. These will not be allowed. So I am just moving this navigation. Okay. Now we will be utilizing this one. Any request coming through user, it will be coming through gateway, and then it will be utilizing this. Okay. So now what we need to do, we need to check, and let me check another thing. Yeah, we need also do some configuration config, and I also have to create new file. We can say like this, under config it should be gateway config.java. Okay. And this should be another class. Okay. And here we must provide configuration component, creation. Okay. It will load default configuration of the Spring framework. So here we must be configuring our JWT first. Let me private final JWT authentication filter. It should be filter, and again like before we need to initialize it gateway config, and here we must be passing through this constructor dot filter is equal to filter. Okay. Was cannot be user type because we already no, because this one is I have a gateway. I have to import add parameter. Yes, we have this one. Import Max the service dot DevOps dot filter. Yes, because it was referring to other filter which is not here. Hmm, why it is going to user service? Because we don't want this user service filter. uh, JWT authentication filter. Yes, thanks. Okay, so it is filter, which is why this value of field gateway not used. Strange. This dot filter, like I can see two. Okay. Okay, so now configuration, actually we need to configure one bean. Why we need to configure bean? Because it should be available during a route locator. The B name is route locator, and we need to check routes, and route locator builder here. It should return after building all routes if matching, if route match user service, and it will check route r dot path must contain v1 user and double star. I'm providing double star, so after user there can be any mean under user a subfolder, like as I already mentioned, admin, then user. So it will work for double static. If I will provide single static, then it will work only admin, and it will not allowing any filter containing subdirectory subname. So that's why subname mean admin user. It will not allow this URL. So with using this one, it will be allowing any URL. Okay, so it must be with the URI. Now we need to set load balancer of, it should route and balance user service. Okay, here you go. Okay, I think routes it will get route from routes if it ID is user service, which definitely we have registered. Then it will take object of route, then it will get path. From path we have v1 user. Okay, then we have filter, sorry, filter filters of like f dot filter. Okay, and we have and we have filter. Okay, after this filter it will check if there is in this filter a URI, so it will navigate accordingly. Then we have URI and yeah, okay. Then we have another because we have done with the user, and we must be doing like route dot route. Mm, Here what should we provide? Route of auth service. Auth service. It will check if there is auth service, or then from R we are getting R dot path. From path we must check slash v1 slash auth slash double static. Okay, then we have URI, then we will be using load balancing, auth service. Okay, here you go. So what we are missing? We are missing in the last, we should be writing like build. Yeah, okay. So now we need to check return builder route user service. Okay, routes. Under routes we need to set route user service. Then R from request it will get user. Okay, then we have filters. From filters, yes, there is one mistake. F, yeah, F, F, yes, from F we will be filtering. Okay, then we have URI, and URI we have like this. Then again we have route. Then from this, okay, then we have URI. Great. Okay guys, so we have set with the configuration and route path of you can see uh, all the configuration. So any request coming through, when we will start this configuration, when we start this application, it will first run this configuration. It will check, okay, it must have user service object and auth service, and if any request for v1.user, it should be go to user service load balancing, and any request for v1.auth, it will send to auth service. So let me run this application and show you how it will work. We will also be filtering and checking. So let me provide here debugging for you, so I can show you everything is working as expected. Okay, so I am going to running this application. Here you can see that we have only one service, auth service running. Okay. Now we need to run this service as well. Register service, config service is also running. Okay, registry, our Eureka is also running. Let me check. And now I need to run auth service for getting login and getting authentication. Where is our auth service? So here is, yeah, here is auth service. Let me start this. After this we will be running user service. Even we can also start user service before auth service, but remember that you must run gateway. Your gateway application must be running. Okay, because now every request will be coming through gateway. We will not be using any URL with the port of other service, because we have configured here load balancing and filtering. Okay, now I need to run my user service as well. Okay guys, with user service I have 8084, and here this is very important to know that what gateway path should have. Now we have gateway. I'm using YAML file here for you, but just we must have both type of configuration file, properties file. So here I'm going to provide 8010. Okay, what is user service already running? So it must be running 8084. Yeah. So now there must be running 8081 gateway. Here is 8101 8081 gateway. So now every request will be going through gateway. Let me show you. Here we have added breakpoint as well. Okay, we should also have here. Okay, let me call login and register and any other service with user service. Okay, so let's see. Now we are working with this and this. Okay, great. Yeah, here I will first register. Here you can see I can register with direct user service, but I will not be providing user service URL to anyone, because when we will be registering with domain name, it will be something like maxtheservice.com, and maxtheservice.com will be mapped with this URL with IP. So what server of IP? Right now we have local server, that's why we have localhost, and then port. That port and server IP will be mapped with maxtheservice.com, and any client will be using that one. Other than that, it will be using, then that will be not accessible. Okay. Okay, now we have provided the URL of gateway. So first I have to check my registration. I'm just going to change registration like with 6, and my name is 2, and here ABC. Okay, first let me do if I can register. Let's see if there is any breakpoint occur. Great, we have registered. Now I'll log in with this username password. Okay, so here what I have changed to 2 and 6. Let me have 2 and here 6. Let me also show you in the, here you can see that we also have running all the services here. Okay, auth service and user service along with API gateway. Now let me show you the registration of new user in the database. Here you can see that we have two users, Maxi Service to Maxi Service. And now I will be using this one to get the token. Okay. Yes, we have got this token, and if I will use this token with now I am going to uh, get the user with username. I have max the user username, but I have token different one, and also here we have to provide 8081. So let me try if I can get these information. So here you can see there must be breakpoint. So here you can see it is running with our new implementation. Let me use last token. Ooh, great, because that token has not expired, so I can also use that token. And in last session we have covered use login and authentication, I mean registration and login with Auth service and user service. Right now we have done same practice with gateway. Any request coming through this gateway will be working, otherwise it will not work. So how we can stop this? If I stop gateway, you will not be able to execute any API, like it will not work, like your login will not work. Now you can see your login service is working. Let me stop this gateway. Okay, it is unregistering from registry, and now if I call this login, you can see it will not work. If I again run this service, it will start working. Okay guys, so we have completed our microservice architecture along with a practical example which is very best to know and get in detail how all these components of microservice in Spring works, how Spring Cloud provide us like gateway, Eureka and config. So we can also use all of these along with these microservices as a very secure. In this session we have covered with JWT mechanism, authorization, authentication, everything. So onward, let's see, we have two options. One is Kubernetes, start working with Kubernetes using these services. Another option we have uh, Angular micro front end with Angular. So which option do you like? Please also provide me comments. I will be moving forward. If you like with micro front end development Angular framework, then I will complete that first. Otherwise we will be continuing with Kubernetes. So if there is no comment, then I will be starting with Kubernetes. So I will be waiting for you good comments, so that you can motivate me and I can move forward. Okay, please subscribe my channel if you are not subscribed yet, and also do like, share in your circle these videos, and also provide your valuable comments. And I hope you will be liking and sharing, so that I will be continuing with rest of the technologies and tools sharing with you. Thanks.